Today, we're headed over to the great state of Texas and Judge John Stevens' courtroom in the Jefferson County Criminal Court. Judge Stevens is nothing if not consistent in his rulings, based on his deep seated beliefs in the traditional American values like truth, honesty, loyalty, hard work, and following the rules. Let's see what happens when he comes up against someone that breaks pretty much all of those values.
Okay, what I have Roberto Lara, is that we just did that, right? Did,
We just
We're
did
waiting
throughout
on-
August.
We're waiting on the attorney on that one, Judge.
it shows Langston Adams. Okay, this is the person that hired another one out of Houston, right?
And then Judge, we have one more too, Mr. Burbank. You said you'd wait till the end to call.
23
Have car trouble.
23 CR 1392 is called Daniela Temescu. That you? Fine. And you were here with your attorney, Mr. Adams. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment? Can we proceed in summary fashion?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about April 5th, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the state jail felony of theft. Do you understand what you are charged with?
Yes.
Yes. If convicted, you face confinement in a state jail for any term of not less than 180 days nor more than 2 years in the state jail. Fine can also be assessed up to $10,000. Do you understand? An agreement's been reached where you would be pleading guilty. Whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 1 year in the state jail. So you were looking at if sentenced to confinement, you could be looking at no less than 180 days up to 1 year confinement in the state jail. You could be looking at deferred or unadjudicated probation, where you're on probation and not found guilty, and that can be up to 5 years in length. You could be sentenced to 1 year, up to 1 year in the state jail, and that can be suspended, and you could be placed on probation for up to 5 years. I think those are your options. Do you understand? If I follow this, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand? You're going to ask for a pre-sentence report?
I can waive one, Judge, if you.
Okay.
Today.
You-
Oh, yeah. And the reason why is that she's 7 months pregnant right now. She has a kid outside. They currently live in California. And if
All right,
you-
it's just moving back, running back and forth costly.
Yes, sir.
All right. If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand? How do you plead to this charge of state jail felony of theft, guilty or not guilty? Ma'am,
I'm guilty.
are you pleading guilty voluntarily, that is on your own free will and because you are indeed guilty?
Because they won't.
Say you are guilty of a theft.
Is that yes? Okay, I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document?
Yes.
Did you understand it? Discuss it with your attorney? Are the contents all true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence and without objection,
No,
admitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God. Correct?
Yes.
All right. State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Is a pre-sentence report waived here?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, then let's hear from everybody what y'all want.
Judge, this is a cap of 1 year. I'm asking you to really consider a deferred adjudication. And the reason why I'm asking you to really consider deferred adjudication is that, as you can see, she's pretty emotional. She's pregnant right now, 8 months, as I talked to you this very second. When she walked up, if you remember, your bailiff said that there was a kid outside, because she was here with a kid, so someone's out. I think that's her husband is outside.
I want to know, what's important, of course, is
Right.
criminal history?
Right.
What do we know? I don't know anything about her. I know what this probable cause statement states about the event. Have you ever been convicted of anything before?
No,
No, this is the first time?
right.
Yes? Okay.
She did have one alien removal back in 2022, but that was the only thing that she's had prior
Are
to
you a
this.
citizen of the United States?
She's not.
Oh,
And Judge, that's another reason why I was asking you to really consider to defer because.
why?
Well,
What does that do? How do you treat somebody differently under the status? Because of what?
what I was asking judges is that one, all the items, as I understand it, were recovered. Two,
I know, but it wasn't her. It wasn't because of her. It's because they caught her. What was
right,
it? Hold on. $4,105.61. That was the value of all the things that she had taken. This is, let's see, hold on. Which store is this?
Home
Home
Depot,
Depot.
Europe.
Home Depot.
I know. I saw Jimmy's note about it.
They had makeshift pouches that they were putting the items in to secrete them. Is there a list of the things? Because that's $4,000 worth of items.
There is a receipt, Your Honor, that we have in the file. It was a bunch of breakers that they were stealing. A 1-inch frame, a pole, a breaker. A lot of the things that they were stealing were about $68 and they were stealing a lot of them. If you would like to see the receipt, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Have you seen this?
It may also be of note to the court, Your Honor, that they recognized them at the Home Depot because they had been stealing at other Home Depot locations up and down I-10 from Florida.
Hmm.
and Judge, in talking to my client, I mean, to my understanding, she has not been convicted of anything else with any other state, so. And she denies those allegations, but as far as this particular case, I think that they had fallen upon hard times and made a very bad decision. She's very remorseful, as you can see from that decision that she's made. She's accepted responsibility. And because, as the state said, she didn't have any prior convictions, not because, I think I'm responding to your question about immigration status. So it's not because of an immigration status, but any other American with her criminal history is likely to get a deferred based upon the fact that they have limited criminal history the way she has. And it has nothing to do with her immigration status.
I think
But-
she's living here illegally, right? You're here illegally in this country, right? All right, well, bienvenidos. I mean, welcome. My family immigrated, but we did it the right way, legally. I've got them from Spain, Italy, Ireland. But they went through the proper procedure. You're a guest. We say welcome. My grandmother was a Rodriguez. Welcome. But don't take advantage and steal. I pay for this loss. Everybody does. You steal, others pay. You know that. Thou shalt not steal. We all know that from little kids. That's a commandment. It's the law too. But you're here as a guest.
I was with the wrong people.
You guests don't, guests, when you invite a guest to dinner, they don't steal the silverware. That's not a guest. That's not acting correctly. And you make it difficult. People like this who do this make it difficult for other immigrants. Because people are wanting a dream. That's what America is. But don't make it a nightmare for the Americans. Do it the right way. Follow the law. There's a way of matriculating into being an American citizen. It's the correct way, but it's not by going around the country stealing. She's just said that y'all had been at other Home Depots. That's not right. That's inappropriate. That's terrible. And that ought to affect immigration status. It should, because we welcome people, but don't steal. Follow the rules like I have to follow. We all have to follow rules. Why are you? Y'all are going from one city to another, making a mess, committing crimes. That's not right. That doesn't help you matriculate, become an American citizen, which is what you want. Well, I empathize with that. My family are not Native Americans. We came in generations ago, but did it the right way. And my family wasn't, our families aren't caught committing crimes when they're trying to become an American citizen here. I don't understand what's going on, but that's what we see a lot in this room. People who are not American citizens are committing crimes. Some of them very, very, very terrible crimes. This is still, when you steal from a retail, they pass on the loss to the other customers. So the prices go up for everybody who are doing the right thing. You think that's fair? No, that's why thou shalt not steal is the rule. That's why it's against the law. Anyway. What are you asking for from the state?
We're asking for 1 year state jail, Your Honor, given the fact that she had a small child with her. She had sewn in a pouch into her dress.
It looks like she had the manufactured items, methods to help steal the stuff so that it would not be discovered. She just didn't do a good job of it. So you're asking for 1 year.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Judge, my only response to.
And go ahead.
Is that you plead guilty to deferred probation. I understand that her status may not be a U.S. citizen, but that one, I guess that 8 month, I don't know exact age, 8 month, 1 year old baby, how old outside is a U.S. citizen. And to my understanding, if she's incarcerated and they're from Romania, to my understanding from talking to her, history is she's Romanian and she was escaping persecution in Romania. And I'm just giving the story. What I'm.
I know, but there are sister states surrounding Romania that somebody can flee to who accept people. She crossed over
Right.
the ocean to come here, and fine, we welcome you, but follow the rules. Like, we all follow the rules, or else you end up in here. And when you fail to follow the rules, you get punished. That's the way it works. When we knew that growing up, we were all taught that.
And that's true, Judge. And the thing is that if she's incarcerated, then I don't want to see that child, because obviously she doesn't have a mama, daddy, cousin, brother, sister in America, because they all in Romania. And I don't want to see that one child taken into CPS custody if she's incarcerated. And
Nobody does. And you're making a valiant argument. The problem is that all people have to do is have children so they can say, like Mr. Adams says, I don't have to go to jail. I'll commit crimes, but I have children. So I get a get out of jail free card. That's not the way it works either. You can't hide behind children for your responsibilities. But you had to know you were putting your children in harm's way. When you steal, you have children, you're setting a role model. What are they going to learn? I'll steal like mommy. That's not a good example, is it? No, it's not.
I want something better for my baby.
And I can understand when people have to take milk for the children. I'm sorry, these are necessities. These are these are electronic items. What were these going to be used for? What were you stealing these for? What were you going to do with them?
I was with my sister,
Ma'am?
mom, and he needed for her home. She told me to just get and don't want it, but and you can see he bought this not in the court. He left the country. He let me here alone. Nobody stay with me. I have just my baby and my husband. Nobody.
Well, you had the inner pouch in your dress that was sewn in and made for stealing items. That's not good. And then the man you're with, he's left you, and he ran off like a little baby and is not like a little child and is not dealing with responsibility. He's not helping you deal with this and accepting responsibility. He left you to be responsible for all of this. Is that right? Well, he gets an F for being a man. But you did more than just make a poor choice of who to partner with. You made your own bad choices too. All right. If there's nothing further, I'm going to follow this agreement and find you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. Regular. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt from State's Exhibit 1. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for 1 year. I'm going to suspend this and place you on probation for 3 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation. It looks like everything was recovered so that there's no restitution. There will be terms and conditions of probation that are normal and customary for this. If you fail to follow your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced no less than 180 days up to 1 year in the state jail. This is also a final conviction. It may affect your ability to gain citizenship, which is the price you pay when you commit felony crimes when you have not gained your citizenship. But that will be for the immigration people to decide. Do you understand what has happened today? Do you understand you commit crimes, you get caught, there are consequences? All right. When this is prepared, I will sign it. Then the probation officer will go over this with you, and then you will sign and you begin probation. Now, where do you live in Orlando? Where do you live now?
I'm living in California.
In California. Well, we don't transfer. Isn't there something about transfer? I don't transfer probations. I can do courtesy supervision, but transfer means I give all the responsibility of handling any disposition to another circuit, but generally they'll courtesy supervise, but they don't like to handle additional cases from other states, just like we don't, because we're full.
Right.
If you fail on your probation, you'll be brought back here and you'll have to answer to me. But I can allow you to be supervised over there. But again, this is a final conviction. It may affect your citizenship. You have to know that. Or your ability to gain citizenship.
No, I hate to-
He hasn't. No.
Okay. Please see this lady and she will go over the probation with you, okay? Thank you.